Gather, veterans. It's time to join the fight. The long war begins.
This is The Long War. I'm Rob Baer, and joining me once again are my partners in crime, Kenny Boucher and Wyatt Turk. What's up, guys?
Yo, dog. Great to be alive.
So,
What do you say to that? I don't know.
glad you're alive, Kenny.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Me too. If you're listening to the podcast and you didn't see it on the internet, I got tested for positive COVID. So I've been putting that on the internet. So maybe go get tested if we touched each other inappropriately during the course of the weekend. Demecki, he posted a negative. Matt Neasy, he posted a negative.
Man.
Oh,
But,
Like their immunity is just stronger, I guess.
I mean, I touched the shit out of those guys.
Yeah.
So,
Hanging out in a Prius all weekend.
all weekend.
oh,
The old soup kitchen.
Yeah. It was a rough, I had a rough go at it, guys. It was rougher than normal. Bonet, if you thank her, if you thank somebody on the internet this week for the next level painting stream continuing, she kept me alive, man. It was bad, but I did talk about it in our before after hours for Patreon. So also think about giving your boy some money to hear that story, because he's also light on cash, because urgent care is not free, it turns out.
I thought you had the California thing insurance. No.
I have Bonet on the good stuff.
Oh,
I don't have that.
you don't have that.
Nah, I'm about to make some changes. Like I said, my retroactive New Year's resolutions to be more of an adult. Yeah,
It's about that time.
it's about that time.
Yeah.
You get some next level healthcare.
Yo, I got a stern talking to from my dentist the other day.
Yeah,
It's not like having to brush all your alligator teeth.
about flossing.
No, I actually floss. No, they were just like, I had the appointment. Well, I had the appointment originally when the whole power outage, the shooting, and we were out of power for like 5 days. So I had to reschedule. And then they just kept calling me. They're like, can you come in? Can you come in? Because they're trying to fit everybody in and tighten it up. And it was always like bad timing. And I was like, nah. And so finally my actual rescheduled day comes up and I didn't show. I just told, I don't know, man. I just blanked. And she straight up calls me. She's like, hey, your actual appointment was today. It was like 15 minutes later. And I'm like, oh, dang, when? And she's like 3:00. And I was like, can you still see me? I'll be there. I'll be there in like 10 minutes. And she's like, yeah, Robert, don't forget. And so I get there.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Hit you with the Robert. Wow.
Oof.
Yeah. And so I get there and it's all good. And then the dental hygienist, she's like,
Oh, because they lease those people. That's why. Like, those people don't work there.
yeah. And I didn't want to, I was like, oh shit, let me go. The person in the next room, I had to sit around and wait for like 30 minutes to see the actual dentist because the person in the other room was an hour late. She's like, yeah, you're good. This dude, asshole. And I'm like, all right, fair enough. And then I got new insurance. And guess who didn't have his insurance card? And so I was just like,
You're now the number one asshole again.
yep, like hot mess. I'm like, I'm so sorry. And I'm getting a stern talking to from like the billing lady now. And I'm just like, I'm so sorry. I'm such a mess today. It's just like
I'll have to figure all this out when my brain is working more properly, because they said apparently since I did test positive for COVID at this urgent care and they did prescribe me this med and everything, this packs, that like they were saying that like if I report all this to my janky ass insurance, that like California says they have to cover it. So
it's mandatory.
that's what he was
How
telling
much
me.
was your dental visit?
Rob?
So I think it's like $75, but they took.
You didn't
my
just
insurance-
pay him $75.
You just give $75 to not be first asshole?
Well, I have insurance. I pay $16.50.
God damn it! I would have just given him $75.
Well, that's for the actual visit. I don't know what the X-ray is. They took X-rays, so it could be more.
So you see,
But,
so my choice is like either go to the dentist and I pay for it myself, or I have to go to the dentist that's at the VA hospital. And
that seems terrible.
I'm pretty sure I would die. I would die. Like, I'm pretty sure they do dentistry with like an old raccoon or something at the VA. So I'm just like, bro, I will just pay for it out of pocket because dentistry is not that much.
No, it isn't. As long as you keep up with your shit, you're good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But like, don't slip, just like, and then then they were telling me all this like dentist stuff, like you got deep sockets and I'm like, okay. And they're like, you really need a water pick, because you're doing a good job, but there's only so much you can do. And I'm like, okay.
Whatever the new tech is, or whatever they want.
Huh?
We all needed a gum extension at one time. Now we all have deep sockets. Like they just keep flossing.
Dentistry is like fucking chiropractic.
Upsell city.
Well, no. There, you can get water pick from like Amazon. You can order them.
We used to have those. I had a water pick when I was a kid. That was like pretty standard. Then like that fell out when we got Sonic toothbrushes, and then they were like waiting for the new way to resell us those. Like. Yeah,
I noticed that too. Like they had the whole like Sonic. And then the Phillips was like literally in there for you to look at. And I'm like, all right, whatever. And then she's like, you got geographical tongue. And I was like,
these are all made up shit.
I was like, what is geographical tongue? I'm like, what? Oh, I'm just like, I
call Twitch every time, our boy Twitchell.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just like, yo, does this sound legit? And he's like, that sounds like an upsell, Doug. He's like, and I like every time.
Yeah. So whatever. They definitely gave me stern life talks, and I was like, all right, that's valid. Yep. Don't miss your appointments. And
Guilty says, don't mess with dentists. They'll put you under and you wake up with your fucking pants unbuttoned.
Yeah, for free. That's like a freebie. That's gratis.
I mean, I checked that box, so it's okay with me.
Yeah. And they're like, yeah, I won't tell. But yeah, Kenny, it's time.
Yeah, no, I will. And I go into detail. It was pretty fucking savage, guys. I'm on the mend. I missed our month ender, but we're gonna do it tomorrow. I'm feeling a lot better. I took it easy today, so I feel I have the energy for this. Bonet is asleep upstairs. She's been taking care of me like crazy, so I'm pretty sure she's about to test positive now for COVID. She's been testing every day with the home tests. Still negative. We've been as careful as possible. I've been like just sleep like relegated to downstairs, and she's upstairs sleeping on the couch and shit, man. Like just coming down with a mask on, like here's your hot tea, and then leaving, shit like that. Using the upstairs bathroom and shit. So I woke up today feeling like a ton better. Did all my sheet laundry and everything, and then I like used all my fucking Lysol wipes and fucking wiped down the bathroom counter that I've been using and shit. And so I'm like hoping that I'm hoping she doesn't test positive, but I'm pretty sure she will, and I'll have to start taking care of her, and I will, of course. But we're in the game now. LVO is behind us. We have a lot to talk about. Met a lot of people. Took a lot of pictures with people. Zen wandering tongue, geographic tongue. Oh, God, that's so weird. That's so weird. But so why don't we just get this thing started so we can talk about all the things with a classic Wyatt would you rather. Somebody hit me with a would you rather. I bet they're like, hey, Wyatt, this might be too spicy for Wyatt, and they told it to me. And
every time it always is.
I mean,
they're like, is this okay for the podcast? And I'm just like, dude, that's like you. No.
Thing is, it was sort of, but it was also not tight because we all answered the same question within 2 seconds. Like, so it's like he's also that wouldn't even make us cut on the conundrum element.
Yeah. I always get a tickle out of it because I'm like, that is funny, guys, but like every time they're like, is this okay for the pie? And it's like the most vile shit. And I'm like, no, of course not. Why would you even ask me that? I picked a fun one because I know you're not feeling good. So it's actually not evil this time.
This time.
Would you rather spend the day with Keanu Reeves or Terry Crews?
Oh.
Man.
Now, is it like just like a ride along in their life? What are we talking about?
Like, or they get to.
Yeah, you just like you hang out like bros for the day.
Or is it like, whatever? Or is it like, hey, and they're gonna come like, hang out with me on my terms, or am I just tagging along with their life? Or are we going to schedule a play date together?
Well, I mean, they're way cooler than you, so you would hang out with them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what do you think? What do you think they do?
Terry Crews is a gamer. He lives in LA, and I've even interacted with the guys who built his gaming rig. He's got like legitimately a $10,000 gaming rig.
Do you think he like shatters keyboards like with his bare hands? I bet he does.
I'm sure it's happened.
Get that strong, it's a liability.
Yeah, seriously.
Keanu's pretty cool though, but he's like, he might be like actually too cool for me. You know? Like he does like cool stuff that's like objectively too cool for me. Whereas like,
is that only because you're being self-conscious? Don't want to try new things?
no, like I just don't want to like ride motorcycles and shit and be in go places where everyone just is actually fucking wearing suits and doesn't play video games.
Yeah, where's the fun in that?
Well, we can go shooting and stuff, but I've done that. Like I grew up in the South.
Good at shooting.
I grew up in the South, man. My dad's a registered gun nut. Like, I think I'd pick Terry Crews, see his rig, see his setup. I bet he's got some hype shit going on.
Maybe you could teach me how to get bigger biceps.
Yeah.
Probably.
I'm sure he knows the formula. We can do a TikTok dance video together.
Ooh.
Me and Terry Crews. Ask him to show me some of his moves from the Old Spice era. He was a hilarious Old Spice. He was an awesome Old Spice.
These were the best ones.
Sponsors. When he was a spokesperson, right? That was what it was.
Yeah.
That was some wacky commercials they would do with him. Like, holy shit.
Those were good though.
Yeah, you know, I think
he moved on.
I think he'd make me laugh a lot more. Keanu Reeves, I think, is like also just like has a tragic life story too. You know?
Yeah, I mean, didn't one of his kids pass away?
I think his like wife died.
What?
Yeah, isn't that like or his old like doesn't he literally have a lover who died and like tragically and like isn't that like actually what happened to him in real life?
I've never once heard that.
Like I think it came out when he started dating again.
Oh.
I thought he's been married to the same lady like forever.
No, he's definitely dating that one age appropriate person for him.
Guilty Gut says, yeah, it was his girlfriend, right? Didn't he basically have like a John Wick scenario play out in real life, basically? Wife and sister? Fiance and sibling,
Whoa,
yeah.
was this like...
That all sucks.
How long ago was this?
But he's got kids, doesn't he? I thought he had kids.
Yeah, like I'm there for him, for sure. His sister, yeah, like I'm there for him.
Wild.
Yeah, no, very sad.
But I think he's on a different level of.
Yeah, he's definitely on a different astral plane.
Yeah.
See, I feel like I would pick Keanu just because he could like teach me how to like really get in touch with my ego and like become a more enlightened person.
He is the definition of chill, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to get more Terry Crews energy in my life.
What if Terry Crews is actually not that way in real life?
Then I'd know that. Then I'd know that.
Yeah, but you still get to hang out with him, so that'd be cool.
Yeah, at his crib and check out his rig. He'd be like, "Yo, I'm also filthy rich. I just got you a loaner rig for the day. You want to fucking play WoW with me all day?" I'm like, "Yeah, man, let's go. Teach me how to play WoW. I've never played."
So yeah, you can take that home with you.
Oh, it's like when you go to the award shows, the gift bags they give to everybody. He's like, "Oh, that's yours now."
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Yeah.
man, wouldn't that be something?
Honestly, no. Like as Kara said, you can't really fuck this up. You hang out with fucking either one of these gentlemen, you will be fucking. Your life will be improved in some capacity.
Yeah, I feel like there's some truth to that.
I've definitely Googled Keanu a lot more, and I feel like now it's weirder now because like I have a lot of wiki knowledge about him and almost none about Terry Crews. I don't know. But Terry Crews. And one TikTok video while I'm there. That's my only requirement. Like, I'll be like, yo, let's TikTok this one thing. Sure. Teach me your moves, Doug. I want some of those OG Cheeseburger Eddie moves, you know?
Oh, Cheeseburger Eddie. Oh, man. I forgot about the longest yard.
Yep.
Yeah, when he pulls that fucking cheeseburger out of his fucking jacket.
Where did he have this? He was like those creamers in like Macho Man. He always had cheeseburgers.
And then he's like, you're being a real McAsshole right now. I never fucking forgot that my whole life.
Oh, it's so good.
You guys remember Goldberg was in that movie too? The hammer.
Yep. Man,
Who was the other dude?
Burt Reynolds.
His rival was in it as well.
Stone Cold. Stone Cold was in it.
Stone Cold was in it as well.
He was prison guards. I think Kevin Nash was in it too.
I think wasn't Stone Cold the one that they like? No, I think it was the other way around. Like Stone Cold was on the prisoner's side.
No, because they were watching.
And then Goldberg was on the guard side because Goldberg's the dude they kept like Sandler kept throwing the long pass and like right into his junk, and they did it like 3 plays in a row.
Yeah, but they also were in the shower talking about how big his dick was. So I feel like
Stone Cold.
But what?
Yeah, Stone Cold was on the prisoner's side.
Huh.
Give me a fact check, audience. I always thought Goldberg was. It's been so long. I refuse to watch this movie. Someone's gonna have to just tell us. There's a lot of wrestlers in the movie. Also, the big dude. He was a wrestler for a while too. Stone Cold was a guard.
No.
Yeah.
No, it can't be.
Stone Cold was a guard. Yeah.
Google this.
Thought it was a guard.
I don't know.
Goldberg was a convict. Yep.
That movie must have been at least 20 years ago. The remake. Was it? It must have been.
It's got to be old, yeah.
2005.
That's wild.
2005, huh?
2005? It doesn't seem like that. That wasn't as long as I thought. But it's something new every day. But yeah, I think Terry Crews is the right choice.
Okay, so Kevin Nash was the dude who's who I'm thinking. So Kevin Nash was the guard that they ran the trick play on.
They also switched his steroids out with estrogen pills.
Yes.
Yep. Love that. That movie was dope. I loved it.
It was a good one. Forget how many pro football players are also in that movie.
Oh yeah, Bob Sapp was in it too. Remember he's just bench pressing the bleachers?
Michael Irvin.
Oh yeah, Irvin was in it.
Bill Romanowski. Yep.
That's some OG Cowboys and Niners.
Keanu Reeves was one of my favorite football movie. Probably my actual favorite football movie. The fucking
the
Replacements.
Yes,
the Ringers. What was it?
Replacements.
The Replacements. Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, that was easily my favorite fucking football movie of the time. It was so fucking ridiculous.
Heck yeah,
that was a good one.
I still use a line from that movie. Remember the kicker? They're like, he's wiry.
Mm-hmm.
Wiry.
Yep. Smoking cigarettes and shit and kicking field goals.
Just it's like drinking 40s and propane.
Mm-hmm. That guy's awesome. All right. Well, good would you rather. We got to go down memory lane. Rob, why don't you take us down the news train and then we can pivot back to LVO and talk about the winners and the losers and almost how none of it matters because we're not playing those rules anymore.
I think it matters.
That's every LVO though.
I mean, like it matters that they won because they're ballers. I'm saying like,
if you care about rankings,
where's their list?
Matters.
Where does your list go from here? It's a different list now. Like it's not.
Yeah, it's done.
We can only have the same secondaries.
Yeah. Absolutely. So there was a bunch of previews. Obviously, there's a bunch of coverage up from LVO. You can go check that out.
Yeah.
Everybody has something to say about the Desolators.
Oh, the Missile Man?
Dude, at first,
I'm going to say that. Okay, I'll say this. If you can't get behind how over the top awesome a belt-fed rocket launcher is, then you don't know what the soul of Warhammer is. Like, that is the most fun Warhammer thing I've seen them make in such a long time, and I'm all for it.
It's different. Like, I don't understand at first I thought the reticule, there's like a reticule in the middle, but it's it was a barrel, but it's not a barrel, it's a reticule. So like, I don't know what to make of any of it. I mean, it's like a Mark 19. It's just that but it's 40K. So instead of them being just like grenades, they're rockets, which makes it even wilder. I mean, I don't have a dog in the fight. Like, I don't care. Like, everybody wants to like get insensate.
What are they called?
Desolators.
They're like the Primaris
memes.
The memes Devastators. I was just like, I don't care. Like, don't buy them then. Like, convert your own.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, why get emotionally invested in it?
Dude, it's just wild reading the comments anymore. So lots of previews, definitely check those out. We know World Eaters are obviously this week, so we got the pricing for those. Now, there's I have to say more than a bit of drama. So, so here's the deal. Apparently, the GW warehouse here in the States, the one in Memphis, everybody knows about, it's attached to the GW store. So apparently, this thing was completed, I want to say like early last year, right? They did an expansion. So apparently, what this expansion was to split the warehouse in half. I don't quite understand it, and I'm not a warehouseologist. I'm not a logi, so I don't know this stuff. I just do what makes sense to me as far as business goes. But so apparently there's a side of the warehouse that's just set up to do new releases. Like the robots that we've shown before that like they have these bins on top and they go and they pull the shit and it goes in the bin and then they bring it to a person and the person checks the order and then it goes out to stores. And those are all the new releases that go out just in time, right? And then the other side is a much bigger warehouse with all of their shit. And that is pulled by humans and packed by humans. And that is like that's like, once again, 2 to 3 weeks behind. Apparently nobody's seen their paint orders for like months, not months, but up to a month. And so paint's running dry everywhere. So it's kind of wild. So the reason I'm mentioning that is because apparently for some reason at some point in the past month, because, you know, they get the shit in all their warehouses and they wait for it to all sync up globally. Angron got delivered to the wrong side of the warehouse or something. He's not on the new release side, or he wasn't at some point. And there was a bunch of like them scrambling to get all these, because you got to imagine there's a lot of Angron models, right?
So we're having a robots versus humans war in the warehouse.
Yeah.
I love it. Fantastic.
So the humans are like trying to get, you know, because you got to code all this shit in to the robots know where the things are and all that, I imagine. So apparently, anytime you have to touch things more than you have to, it's like a nightmare as far as like, you know, logistics. So I guess they're like moving all the shit to the other side of the warehouse or just figuring out how to like grab all these Angrons and put them to the others. I don't know what they're doing, but apparently there might be delays in everybody's orders. There was a bunch of meetings. And
it hasn't even gone up for pre-order yet.
Right. So, which brings me to my next point. Also, another issue is they're capping those new battle forces, those battle forces, and the boarding patrol with the Space Marine in it. The Space Marines. They're capping them to stores along with the dice. So,
probably going to have another situation where they cut allocations after orders have been put in.
Well, that's the thing is everybody normally puts their orders in today. And today they told everybody, go fly a kite. You get this many. And people are like, we know what you're doing. Like stores literally are pushing back. Like every store I pulled was like, yeah. And we told them like, literally, we know what you're doing. Like just call us next week when they don't sell on the website and we'll buy some. You know, like it's not rocket surgery. Like stores know what's going on. At the same time, you know, they're dealing with cards getting allocated too. Like One Piece is like super hot right now as far as trading cards go. And basically no stores got the new one-piece starters, and they're all pissed off. But Walmart got them. Walmart put them out like a week early, and stores losing their shit about that. They also, it's tough for stores right now because of this bullshit, because of Wizards doing direct, stores just worrying about big box, or manufacturers worrying about big box, and then the inept things with companies like GW. So just be patient with your game store is all I'm saying, because shit is wild right now. It's always wild, and they're always struggling. They're always doing their best. So that's all I'm saying. But Angron, $160. New Berserker, $60. The Exalted 8-Bound, $60. The Jackals, $50. The Arc of Omen Battlefleet Battle Force, if you can get one, $210. Lord Invocatus, I guess is how you say it. The dude on the Juggernaut, $60. The Boarding Patrol, $110. There's good value in these bundles if you can get them. And you want Chaos. I mean, it comes with the Demon Prince. He's $80 right off the bat, which is wild. Codex World Eaters, $55. The dice, if you can find them, of course, are $35, and they only come with 15 dice now. So be aware of that. The larger 16 mil dice, you're only getting 15 to a pack now. And the Arcs of Omen and Ground book is $60. So just some stuff to mention there. Stealth price increases on the Age of Sigmar Vanguard boxes. The Gits and the Beasts of Chaos boxes were $130 when GW told stores, but then the day before they went on pre-order, they sent out a memo to everybody that they were $140. So they kind of stealth increased them. The Chaos one, Slaves of Darkness, a couple weeks before was $140 as well. So I was kind of like, it was really weird when they were $130. I was like, that's weird. They went back down. And apparently it was an oversight, and they are $140 now. So I imagine all the Sigmar ones going forward are going to be $140 as well. If you're a fan of Star Wars, Shatterpoint went on pre-order on the 30th. There will be they don't want to call it exclusive, but there will be an Ashoka Tano model that you can get from any store that's participating in the next program. If you pre-order your Shatterpoint starter with the stores. Now, Shatterpoint's $164.99. The expansions are $50 with 4 figures, which...
Yeah, I ordered the starter kit and the Obi-Wan expansion.
Oh, okay. Right. There's also terrain kits as well. So,
I got terrain.
Yeah, I don't know how, nobody knows the rules yet. So we don't really know, do we need a train? Do we not? You get some train in the box, so it's cool. Maybe you don't need it. I don't know. So I think as we start to see some of these reveals of the rules, we'll know kind of a little bit more like what you actually need. Yeah, so I don't know. We'll kind of see what happens with that. I got this right here. If you're watching live, you get to see it. The new Evo Go bag from Monument Hobbies is out. It's $195. This thing is massive. Yeah, you can fit a lot of things in it. We already recorded a little bit of a video because I was like, I'm going to see if I can put all of my hobby stuff in this. Done pretty well so far. But he's got these lights too that we'll have a link for. But they got these fold-out hobby lamps that are pretty cool, and they're only $20. And I was fooling around with them, and they got a lot of good settings. They're dimmable, which is really nice. So they'll go pretty well with it. So check that out. Not sure how many or how long they're going to have them, but things tend to sell through pretty fast over at Monument Hobbies whenever he rolls out with something pretty dope. So definitely might. If you're thinking about it, I wouldn't think about it too long because it might be a few more months to get another big shipment in. But I was definitely impressed with that. The Arkham Asylum board game from Night Models went up on Kickstarter. No, it's not Kickstarter. It is at Kickstarter. It's crowdfunding. It's over on GameFound. That was a cool game. They were supposed to do the project last year. Unfortunately, the dude that was in charge of it had some health issues, but now it's launched. Now it's full on. It's a cool game because you're basically playing as the villains trying to kind of escape Arkham Asylum, and like the bosses are like Commissioner Gordon or the warden of.
How is Commissioner Gordon a boss? That dude's like 80 years old.
Batman's also a boss.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. Well, like Jim Gordon is there. Like, if you want to get to Batman, you got to go through me. They're just like, they push him over because he's 80 years old. Like, what?
I don't know, man. I didn't get that far, but he does have a mini. I thought it was cool gameplay. It seemed pretty fun. I'll probably get one. Also, on the Kickstarter side of things, the two thin coats next line of paint wave 2 went up for or is on Kickstarter right now. It's done very well. So if you got the first set and you like that and you want to throw some more money Duncan's way, well, hey, it's up on Kickstarter right now. It's still got a little bit of time, so you can get in on that. And revealed today was the Speed Paint 2.0 sets for Army Painter. So they reformulated them. They don't have that feature that I guess if you use it incorrectly and not as a one coat solution, if you don't follow the directions, it does this thing that
I mean, it's not the first time that a company has revised a product to adapt to dumb people, so makes sense.
Yeah, it's
there's warning labels on shampoo, dog. Like, what do you expect?
I mean, yeah, we were eating Tide Pods at one point too, so.
I wasn't.
I mean, speak for yourself.
Yeah. Kenny likes to live dangerously.
That explains maybe the recent situation.
He just likes to wash his clothes
pods.
and his mouth at the same time, dude. It's
Yeah.
sufficient.
Maybe it wasn't the.
Maybe I'm
burger.
too clean. Maybe that's my.
Milk was a bad choice. Tide Pods were a bad choice. So the speed paint set's really interesting. If you're a retailer, there's going to be a rack. It's the half rack. It can sit on a countertop or it can go on the top of the existing racks out there if you want to swap it out with one that you already have. There's going to be a most wanted set, a starter set, and the mega paint set 2.0. And I believe the mega paint set will have 4 free paints in it that were available originally, the current colors that are out there. All of them are being reformulated to be able to work with them a bit longer. You can check out the video. It looks pretty cool. I mean, it basically does what, those people had a problem with on YouTube. It does that now. So it does the thing that everybody seemed to want. If you don't want to use it as a one coat solution, hooray, I guess. But the thing I like about it is there's more colors. I recently came up with was painting my Star Wars Legion figures. And I was like, damn, I don't have a lot of greens to work with here. And I had to use some of the contrast ones. So I was like, man, it'd be really dope if, they had more greens. And all of a sudden there's 90 speed paints. And I was like, all right, well, there we go. So I'm excited for it. We're going to see a lot more on it. The Mega Paint set hits in April 22nd, I believe. And it's $199, and you can pre-order it now over on the Army Painter website. So that's all the big stuff that I'm tracking over the past couple of weeks. Also, Joy Toy came out with the Sisters of Battle Paragon War Suit. Is up for pre-orders right now at some of the sites overseas. So if you're into Sisters of Battle and Joy Toy, you might want to pick that one up. And they also said that it would have some sort of alloy, so some sort of metal on it somewhere, somehow. And that the Dread Knight, when it does come out, the Dread Knight suit will also come with the Grey Knight Terminator. And so that's going to be quite the big kit and quite the big price tag. And I can't wait. Gotta have it.
I mean, my favorite Ninja Turtle shit was the Crane and his cyborg android body.
Uh-huh.
I had that, right? But you put the little crane in there, remember?
Yeah.
And
in the front?
Yeah. Luckily, there was no shortage of buying cranes. And, I had like 4 laying around. But like when I think of this Dread Knight, I'm like, damn, and I get the fucking Grey Knight too? Hell yeah. I don't have to collect that shit separately.
Oh, yeah, because those are like $60, I want to say.
Yeah. And it's not like I just have a stockpile of them because Christmas and I'm a kid who likes Ninja Turtles, you know? I'm a grown up wants to buy these now, so it's tight.
They're fun. I don't know if I showed you guys the Outrider boy.
You have every episode, yeah.
Yeah, hey. It's about 9 inches long.
That's about 14 inches long, dog.
No, it's 9 inches.
If you say so.
I mean, I don't know what you've been getting away with in your personal life, Kenny, but that's definitely 9 inches. And here's the ATV. If you're watching live, you can check this out. It's so big. Look at this thing. Still.
Yeah. It's like 3 feet.
Yep. Absolutely. Nah, the thing's pretty dope. I'm super happy with that. Got to get the Dread Knight too. They said they were going to do an Imperial Knight. That's going to be wild.
Mm. Hell yeah. I had to step away for a second to check on my lady to see if she wasn't dying from COVID now.
Oh, how the turntables.
She's okay. She's waking up. She was still asking about me because she hasn't been sleeping with a dam. So I just took the dog out because I know the dog's been like laying sentinel next to her while she's passed out on the couch.
Oh, no.
So the dog will basically be on a self-imposed hunger strike until her mom wakes up, you know?
Mm-hmm.
She's like, I will die here. It's like, don't be melodramatic. It's been 4 hours. Like, like you can,
nope.
You can wait a little longer, Saren. If you don't want to eat, that's fine. So I guess I missed the news. Anything? Oh, I did look at those desolators while you guys were
what you think?
talking. I think they're cool.
I just I actually forgot one big thing. So the Rolgadorn tank came out without the bottom, obviously.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people are upset.
Yeah, like I'm like, what? Who cares?
But here's the thing: a couple of retailers came up with bits that you can buy. Tarot Mono Maker over in the UK.
So there's people who are going to sell second party bottoms.
Yeah, £295, and shipping's like less than $10 US. You can get the bottom shipped to you, or Dragonforge here in the States has one. It's like $8 shipped. If you really want to cover up that filthy bottom. But
I don't know. That tank is like everything I asked for in a tank. I don't want any dumb inside parts that you're never going to see. I don't want any extra stuff that doesn't need to be there. And there's a giant hole in the bottom, so I can just like hold the model while I paint it.
I know, that's what I saw. When I saw the hole in the bottom, I was like that's the thing you put your fingers in while you're airbrushing it and shit.
Yeah. And like oh no, I'm building my tank and this part fell on the inside. And now I got to like shake the fuck out of it, hope it comes out of there with a guitar pick and an acoustic guitar.
Yeah. I don't know if anyone...
You're never going to get that part back.
Yeah, I don't know how many of you guys...
It falls out the bottom now. It's fantastic.
So
I think it's fine.
I did the magnetization on it. You can put a little piece of plastic card in there on the back of the turret so your magnets don't push through the turret. But I think other than that, like, yeah, you could just store your weapons in there in like a plastic baggie, or just put a magnet in there, like, and stick them on it. Chat.
Like, I saw somebody else do that exact same thing where they just put magnets inside the hole and then have all the extra guns inside of the tank, and you can just pull them out and swap them.
Oh my God. Is a store like an old Ninja Turtle van.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Genius design. And these nerds are like, "Where? There's no bottom hole."
But here's the thing too. Like,
okay, look, hold on, Rob. If you're the kind of person who likes to show me your rhino when you come up to me to show me your paint job, and you open the back door so I can see all the little shit you painted in there with all the bolters and the seats, then I understand why you're upset about there not being. There's a suspension of disbelief situation here, right? I get that. Like, if you're the kind of person who paints the thing that you can look in there, all those things, and closes it. That makes you happy. That's your whole narrative. That's just, I can see why this would irritate you. If that's why you collect these miniatures, sure, that I can see why they could irritate you. I'm sorry that this irritates you. Maybe just understand where we're coming from, which is that we don't care. We don't care about the non-existent interior. We care about the exterior aesthetics to a high degree. And so things you can't see don't bother us. And maybe that can help you be not upset. But Rob, what were you saying?
About the sprue count. So like, there literally isn't any room on that sprue. If they put a bottom on it, it'd have to go to a fourth sprue. And then that'd probably be like $120 for this damn tank. So, like, I mean, I feel like
the machining for each individual sprue is what's really expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
See, I like the idea of putting like literally a magnet strip in there, like a hanger. And you just clink, 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 have all your weapon swaps in there. And so your tank is just storing, like, that is just so genius. I never even thought of that.
I saw a post.
Rob, you need to do a magnetization like that, where like how to work with the hull.
That's the post I saw where it's like this group where everybody was like whining about it. And they're like, look, I 3D printed the bottom hull. And then this genius was like, work smarter, not harder. And like, had a bracket on the inside for all the extra barrels and guns and sponsons, and they were all magnetized in there.
God, that's what my turtle van was that when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
That's the way to do it. I mean, you can even just glue, if you magnetize all your weapons, which I'm trying to think. I think the turret, it's better to do a plate in there and magnetize the turret. Yeah, that's how I did it. Then you could just put a plate in there, but I think I'm trying to think. It just depends on how you do it, because like some of them, I think the plate in the turrets was better, but the magnets in the weapons, so you'd have to put a plate on one side and maybe like a magnet on the other, and then it's fine. Yeah. If you do it the way I did it, which I think is probably the easiest, to be quite honest.
Yeah, Rob's he lives in between the easiest and he lives on, like, if there's the just get it magnetized and done, and then there's the like unnecessary amount of magnets for the sake of magnets. He's definitely like between those two. He's not.
I'm about efficiency, like function and efficiency, like meet in the middle. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that's the amount of time I want to spend. I still got to paint this bitch.
He's not Kelty O'Neill, who might be in chat right now, who I once saw, again, and I will throw him under the bus, a 5-man scout squad with every fucking combat knife and bolt pistol, every bolter and bolter hand, every fucking one of those things is magnetized on a 5-man Space Marine scout squad. I was like, you have a psychosis, sir. You need help. He admits it now. He's like, no, you're right. Like, I need psychiatry.
I mean, like, oh man, we all got our thing.
He's in there. He's in there. I will never forget. Now, you traumatized me with that fucking whip session. I talked to my therapist about that.
No. Let me explain to you the process you have to do to actually.
Yeah, my therapist agrees now. Like when I was like, look, I'm going to pay you to hear me out on this. For your unbiased opinion, or do I need to let this go, or is this like something I need to be concerned about? She was like, "No, that's all. That seems kind of over the top." Yeah, you're right.
I mean, I've done some like.
She's like, "How's your boy? How's he doing?"
Yeah, she checks in on you now, man. Has he? I was like, "No, he has. He actually does less magnetizing now. Like I think he's coming along."
I don't know. I've done some stuff that people wouldn't be like, I don't think I'd spend that time on that. I'm like, yeah, you know.
And neither would I again. Like, I did it once. The kicker, I think what helped Kilty was when he's like, and I have literally never played this squad of scouts. They have never seen the table. He's like, so I'm starting to see your point here. I mean, the Schrodinger Scout Squad. They have never been a combat squad, a sniper scout squad. They've never been a scout squad. They don't exist. So the whole magnets for different weapons are about play accessibility, not display. They're not about collections. They're about play. So if you're not a gamer, a big time gamer, I don't see the point.
Mm-hmm.
Just do the coolest ones. The coolest ones are the snipers.
Yeah. They definitely see a lot of play. Oh, well.
That, Kelty says, 3D printing is cured my sprue psychosis. 3D printing is the cure. That's the best part of 3D printing is bits, honestly.
I cannot stress this enough. No matter what degree or how frequent, please use protect. Don't 3D printing.
Didn't you say recently now you're getting fucked up by super glue, Wyatt?
No, it was the The Insta-Set spray. And it was just because I didn't have the fan on because it was 30 degrees outside. And I was
I don't like spraying that stuff. Like, I'll pull it out of the bottle and I'll kind of hit the thing and it drips out.
Mm-hmm. I have a busted paintbrush. This entire job in life is to dip in there and just kind of sprinkle it on my super glue because of that shit.
Yeah.
It has not bothered me once until this. But that's because, like, the
ventilation.
Yeah, ventilation.
Yeah. Well, you guys, you want to pivot into LVO coverage?
Yeah. Sure.
Long War doubles, LVO happened. You got some pictures, and I think I sent you an email earlier today when I was a little bit more coherent.
Yeah, I'll work that into a post.
So I'll start off by like just shouting out some LVO stuff. So we ran our new pack at LVO, pretty smooth. We only had about 48 teams, I think, to start off with. So it was a pretty good trial run. I have a few changes I'm going to make with my squad. But smooth sailing, guys, okay? Now, just here officially in the podcast, announce some winners. So our best overall champions were the team known as Janky Clanky. It's an orc team.
I love that.
They also won Best Painted.
Right.
So the Best Painted bump, because only one person can win it, that's what gave them the overall. So that's important to acknowledge, right? So being best, the literal only person who receives that extra 50 points is why they were best overall. Now, Nurgle's Hugs, our boy Matt Aaron's squad, they were best general, but also they were like second overall or third overall.
Yeah, I was surprised that Matt Aaron's didn't win best painted.
I was not involved, and I deliberately was not involved in that type of, because that is pure subjectivity, right? We had a pending Duff, legendary stream team member. He was the sole proprietor of if you are battle ready plus display quality, or he was the person that you were coming to, and he was organizing that, and he was giving that out. It was 100% consistent across the board. Now, when it came to who's the winner of this, he came back. He said, "I think it's between these two." And then I sent Neezy over there, OTPHGZ. And so our spreadsheet guy. So not me, who is fully aware of the individuals involved in this, but he's also a protege of mine who is involved in painting and stuff, and he knows the rules. He's been inputting the scores all day. So he's also, but he's, so he's going to go over there with Duff, and they're going to go look at the two armies. And they said, "Do you have any advice on criteria? Is it going to be like," and I was like, "Painting. That's it." Now that they both got here with the prerequisite amount of stuff, like required to wow the scorecard to this position, like who's objectively, in your two different opinions, if you can agree on who has better painted models, I would agree to that without even looking. And they agreed that Jake and Clanky had a better paint job overall on their models. Now, that doesn't mean they had a more impressive display board. Matt Aaron's also, shout out to Nurgle Hugs, who comes to our event quite often, and they do really well at our event. I told him, and I prophesized this last year at Adepticon, that he had the best painted Death Guard army in the world. And that's after winning best painted at Adepticon doubles last year. And then he won it in the Adepticon championships. I was like, "You're the best Death Guard painted army in the world." Then he went on to win it multiple more times, and he won the Hobby Tracker 2023.
Yeah, he got first in the Hobby Track.
He is quite literally the owner of the world's best painted Death Guard army. So it
looks great.
He just didn't win it by our judges' opinions on who had the best painted army in our event. But he did also win best general. And all of our tiebreakers and stuff come down to, hobby things, right? So all these people who had the highest battle points, it's like best painted's your tiebreaker. So like it's always very balanced. Mm-hmm. So shout out to Nurgle's Hugs, best general. Jake and Clanky, the orcs, with overall and best painted. # wrecked, Jeff Pool's team, best sports. They're the tag team champion winners last year.
Yep.
Right? They came back, played again. They took an L. They weren't undefeated, but they had still high battle points. And so there was like a massive billion-way tie for sports. And we use battle points for tiebreaker because it's more impressive just to look at the raw numbers, right?
Yeah.
Like, did you maintain high sports while also winning? That's harder to do, right?
It is.
So he did. So he's back on the podium. But what's interesting is we also had some runner-ups, right? For best painted, second place was absolutely Nurgle's Hugs. Third place was Wrecked. But none of them got the bump in their score, right? They had 700. So then you start to see a theme here. In general, Nurgle's Hugs won. Hashtag Wrecked, second place. And the Asian Persuasion, they were third place. So you're starting to see the same names. Sports, Wrecked wins. Nurgle Hugs, second. Asian Persuasion is third. So you're seeing people who came and brought top level painting, top level sports, and top level play all in one were in this triangle of like mention endlessly. Mm-hmm. And so I see where we can maybe stretch some of the scores out a little bit to create a little bit more separation, but this is good information to have. And again, congratulations to Jake and Clanky. Hope they make it out to Adepticon. There's gonna be like 128 teams playing there. And there's gonna be more than just, 5 people with display quality dioramas. It's gonna be more people to compete with those scores. So congratulations to our winners. Well, without a hitch. I did add the PDF spreadsheet, the finals to the QR code / link tree that you guys had been visiting all weekend. And that link is, I think, in our Discord servers. So you can go back and see where you saw what your final scores were.
No, that's smart.
Yeah. And so that's our new thing, guys. Check out the Discord server if you're interested in Long War Doubles. Now that the LVO chapter is behind us, the Adepticon chapter is in front of us. We're going to be making adjustments to the scorecard, to the Arcs of Omen stuff. And feel free to be in that Discord for active updates. And for as long as Linktree exists, we're going to be using that Linktree that way. The link never changes. QR codes are going to be distributed. You're going to be able to find your mission packs there and upcoming event information there. So shout out to the event, and it was amazing. Okay. Shout out to Chad Bloodbeard for making the championship belts. He couldn't make it. He had some shit go down. Wish he was there. So if anyone who owns a tag team championship, next time you see him, you want to take a picture with this guy. He should be at Adepticon, right?
I think so.
I think he will be. I think the only reason he didn't make the LVO, right, is some family tragedy shit, right? So
I did not hear that.
Yeah, it's some last minute shit for him, which I feel bad about. So if you see some obvious guy from West Virginia walking around with a beard,
he's not from West Virginia.
He's got I've seen Sasquatch shirt on, maybe a jacket with patches where he's been to every cryptid location in the country. That's him.
He's got an epic beard. Just say he's got an epic beard, dude. It's red. You'll know who it is.
A big red beard.
There's 2 or 3 of them in there.
And he is a squatcher.
He's probably wearing overalls.
Yeah. Now, Long War Doubles was amazing.
Yeah.
We actually are 100% on track now. We again had people who showed up who have never played in a tournament before. LVO 2023, their first tournament. Multiple instances, which is why we do it. It was amazing. But we also played 6 hardcore games over the course of 2 days. Most of us did. Some of us played a lot more than 6 games over the course of 2 days. Some of us went on to shadow rounds and championship top 8s. That's a marathon. Okay. We're playing, of course, Nephilim still. I personally went 3-3. I was grateful to finish and break even. It was a hard fight. I lost to Chaos twice. I lost to Nids again. But I did beat Sisters because I'll never lose to Sisters again. I did beat Chaos once, and I did beat Harlequins. You know what's funny about this? I think I lose those Harlequins immediately in the rematch with Arcs of Omen.
Oh, that's not good.
AOC and Death from Above were a big part of my hanging in there against them. A huge, huge part.
That sucks.
I am nah. Dog, in this one play, I took Assassinate, Death from Above. And, did I take Relentless Assault? No, I don't think I took Relentless Assault. I took, Raise the Banners. So, like, I basically, in this one master play, because, he's trying to go for behind enemy lines and do all these character kills, I just, like, held off the Inceptors for one extra turn, dropped in my own field, was able to clear this combat enough that I took out this character. So I got the character kill, the kill on arrival, and the 3-point kill from Death from Above. So I get the 5-point max. And it was his Warlord, and it was a fucking character kill. So I got like the 3, the bump. Literally, I was like, damn, just pulling the trigger on this one squad. It's like every fucking point. Like, I was like, that's not even going to happen, dude. Like that kind of shit, So it was a tough fight, but I don't think I win that game immediately. I don't,
Dang.
But against the Chaos, I played Arthur 2 against his Word Bears, which I love. God, I'm even more in love with Word Bears now. Shout out to Arthur and XBZ for kicking butt all weekend. What I learned was a valuable lesson. Playing Chaos is very manageable if there's no Abaddon to contend with. For me,
Abaddon's the thing.
Abaddon is a problem for me, at least the way I'm currently playing. Which will probably change a little bit, but Arthur went 5-1. Word Bears, no Abaddon. And the other 2 guys I took an L to didn't with their Abaddons. So it seems like Abaddon is a force multiplier for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I did play against 3 entirely different flavors of Chaos, Wyatt. Black Legion, Emperor's Children, and Word Bears. Full on. So they all brought, movement shenanigans, in some ways. They all brought a Terminator brick, some possessed, but different ways of deploying it in different wacky ways, right? With the Black Legion always finding a way to get their hit rolls up and crazy shit like that, and using those psychic powers to reposition stuff. It was pretty fucking cool. He was using like the 10 Flamer squads, like the 10 Zenith Flamer squad and stuff.
Okay, yeah.
I was able to play around that for a while, but I lost that game by 1 point. So against the Black Legion, I lost by exactly 1 point. Emperor's Children, I kept it okay-ish, but once he's also outplayed me too. Like he didn't let me get my way with him. I was doing well, then he stopped me. He's like, "You're done with this shit," and get fucked. Also, I played him in that. And then when I played Nids, I was like, every time it's the no pregame movement mission. Every fucking time. Here I am. It's my time. I have the playbook downloaded, and it's like, oh, by the way, your Death Company don't work this game.
Oof. Savage.
And that's a 2-folder, because if I want to go first or second, either way, the Death Company, there's a way to either bait out the synaptic imperative for the invulnerable turn. You kind of like feint like you're going to do something stupid with them. And it forces him to bait it out a turn. Or you just say like, also, by the way, I am going to do something stupid with them, and you get something, you kill something. You know what I mean? It's 2 reasons, even if you go second, that having them in this dominant position works. And so every time I don't get to use that squad against Nids, it's a double whammy. So it wasn't even my high score. It was like, an abysmal loss. It was utter beatdown. And of course, he had a sack of acidic spores. And good guy. And he played a tight game, loved him. But he was like, and this entire sack of acidic spores goes in the garbage after this tournament.
Yeah.
So we all know. We're all playing stuff that doesn't work the next day. So like, but ultimately, beat the Sisters. I already knew the list did that. Beat the Word Bears, which is impressive. I didn't know if I could. Right? I think that was more of a...
The Word Bears?
Word Bears. That was more of me being obsessed with Word Bears for like a month than anything. So, and then beating Harlequins was, I think, a stroke of luck, and AOC still existing. Because I was bouncing a lot of fucking AP1 and AP2 shit off.
That'll happen.
Yeah, and I think it only gets worse with more Sanguinary Guard, more 2-up save shit. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, this is unmanageable for you, dude. He's like, yeah, it is.
Savage.
But I enjoyed the fuck out of it. Was proud to go 3-3. Demeki owned 3 day 1, and he was like, then on day 2, he wins a game. Then he wins another game, and so our scores are becoming the same. like as always,
meeting in the middle.
Yep. And he had a fun time too. We both had a blast. Of course, I got sick the final day. Drove back, got COVID, almost died in my bathtub with a temperature of 105. Got rushed surgeon care, and here I am for the podcast. That's my personal journey, though.
Not indicative.
Ask me that question you asked me earlier about Blood Angels.
Oh yeah. Like, so if Blood Angels won LVO, why win more?
Yeah, why win?
Why do better?
I'm not good at 40K. I'm mid-tier.
Yeah, mid-tier local. Get it?
Not local.
Mid-tier local. Yep. So Blood Angels did win. Turns out all those tough but fair nerfs.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, a lot of stuff that people were worried about, like Votan. Like, Votan didn't even break the top 50.
Well, I mean, yeah, they've been nerfed hard. Ish.
But they're not ready for the meta yet.
No.
Like, I mean, they were nerfed. We talked about that, but like also the Nephilim meta. That's not Votan meta.
Yeah, I think they go up in valuableness now that AOC is gone, but they still have AOC. Because their offense is going to get a lot better than it was before. And then they're able to compete in the secondary game a little bit better now.
Hold on a second. Did Harlequins go to a 5-up invulnerable from a 4-up?
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. I win that game.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to chat. Zenwood, thank you. Nurgle Matthew, weren't you there at LVO? I think I saw pictures of you fucking partying hard. Shout out to Nurgle Matthew.
Sometimes you gotta.
Never mind. They went to a 5 invulnerable. I win that game. We're good.
Yeah, a lot of Harlequins players, big mad.
Yeah, well, I'm a Blood Angel player, big mad too, so fucking deal with it.
I could see that.
Yeah, so Jack, in that final game with his Blood Angel, he is a good player. Kara Quinn says Sean failed that 6-inch reloadable charge. That sucks. But I mean, I played against a lot of orcs. It's just like the gangster level you have to bring is disproportionate to the Blood Angel's gangster level. So like Sean has to bring like 2-to-1 gangster in that fight. Since Sean exists in a state of, I'm going to go with like Scott Steiner math here. Right? Like any day of the week, it's 50-50, right? But when it's Sean, it's 66 and a third, okay? Now you take Sean and those guys. I can't even do the promo. But what I'm saying is he existed like a 5-to-1 gangster state because of Sean Naden. Well, Jack probably also counters that with his 5-to-1 gangster state, you know? So they're like...
It's all down to who rolls better.
So
sometimes
the Blood Angels have... But the thing is, if he equals his gangsterness, if we say in a vacuum, he won LVO, so we have to at least say he's at least as good as Sean Naden without the armies that they're playing involved, okay? Mm-hmm. That's high-level credential. He has achieved the credentials. We can even say he's better than Sean Naden, okay? So he's better than Sean Naden. Let's say 5% better. You need to be way more than 5% better to surpass what Blood Angels, like a list like his has, like Jack has. He had triple Death Company, triple Sanguinary Guard. Fear of the Lost was activated in that game very intelligently. He was using the genius set of secondaries. I've played that game. I've literally watched Goth armies bounce off of me, dude. Like leaving like two guys here, 4 guys here, 1 guy here who just slap back and kill the whole orc squad. Like, because of AOC. So like AOC was this disproportionate gangster phenomenon in that fight. Not necessarily in their fight. I'm just saying any day of the week. You make that charge, you don't make that charge, whatever happens, it's a different game at least. But I think you start to see that AOC shit start creeping back up. The game was kind of over right there though, you know? But Goths are pretty good. A lot of people have had a lot of success with them. The meta was right for them. I think they're going to have a better day in the sun. So I think that's exactly what we were talking about before. I think Sean wins the immediate rematch.
Oh. Yeah, maybe.
Like, I will give it that Jack's 5% better at 40K than Sean. Now let's see, without the gangsterness of that list, if they just did an instant immediate rematch gyro run, Arcs of Omen, minimum changes to the list, I think like the gangster pendulum is completely in the Goth's corner now.
But I don't feel like you can, because you can't look at it in a vacuum like that. Like, you know, hey, if this dude played this and they played that, and if they played now, but they might not even have played in the first place because of all the lists would have been different, you know?
Yeah.
It's like the what, like it's almost like no takesy backsies, you know?
Nurgle Matthew, the voice of Slanesh. Nurgle Matthew, I found out a whole bunch of stuff about you this weekend, and I'm like, this guy's always in my fucking chat, man. What's up, dude?
Lurkers.
Nurgle Matthew. Awesome. He's like, yeah, man. I'm glad you made it home safe, brother. Why don't that's my humble opinion as a mid-tier. Who plays Blood Angels, who knows Sean, who's playing against some orcs with his mid-tier skill level of Blood Angels. You know, like, I felt like that fight I felt like Sean did the right things. I kept looking up the Jumbotron because I was right there when it was happening the whole time. I was like, this seems right. The way he's maneuvering seems right. He's not falling for it. Oh, he realizes now he has to make some plays. Okay, he didn't make the plays. What happened there? You know, like, I'm watching it, and then we have it up on the app too, because we're also running Longword doubles. And we're like, also like, it's happening right there on the screen. We have it on the little screen so we can hear the play-by-plays as we're doing spreadsheet shit.
That's cool. Well, here's to another year.
Right? So what can we take from this? The thing is, it's hard to comment to this. You know, like, Blood Angels just won the whole thing. Mm-hmm. I'm only a little surprised. How about you guys?
I mean, knowing what we know about their power level pre-chapter approved changeover, I mean, I'm not unsurprised, but I'm not like super surprised either, I suppose.
Yeah. I mean,
a lot of these factions I see in the top 10 are factions that have really good tool sets to play to the format, but are generally left behind by players like the median average of players when they become like not easy mode. Because we were talking about this like before LB, like what would I expect for top 10? I'm like, I expect to see some Tau. I expect to see some like Tyranids, maybe some Demons, some Harlequins, stuff like that, because like really high level players tend to hang on to those types of armies that have great tool sets, but may not necessarily be like easy mode. And so like when you look at the top 10 and it's like Blood Angels, Orcs, Demons, Harlequins, Demons, Tau, Emperor's Children, Tau, and Tyranids, I'm like, none of those surprise me in the least, because those are all fantastic codexes. with the downside being that they're a little long in the tooth and have been FAQ'd or were on release, like not super Mongo crush easy mode type codexes. But because they have all this utility to them, those higher level players will tend to want the biggest tool bag, you know?
That's true. Did you guys look at the 40K stats going into? How many faction representation?
Nah.
It was pretty interesting information. There was like almost no Gene Stealer cult, but like all the Gene Stealer cult people there were competing for best Gene Stealer cult. So if you roll for a Gene Stealer cult opponent, you're not having an easy fucking fight, dude. And the 3 times I talked to somebody like, "Yo, I rolled GSC," I was like, "Oh, sorry, you get your ass kicked, right?" They're like, "Yeah."
So it's a lot of LVO. Like that's part of the field. Is that like you'll see a lot of stuff that's just like some crazy off the wall stuff. Like one of our guys, Clifton, showed up with 6 Terax assault drills and did really well. Like wild, wacky list that caught people off guard. And then you see a lot of people that are like, yeah, I'm like here to try to get points for number 1 faction, or, you know, like top 100 in the ITC, trying to get like a little bit better ranking by the end of the year, that kind of thing. And so like it's really hard to determine what kind of like game you're going to have until you actually like start playing.
That's really true.
It's true.
Like I was pretty shocked by the chaos representation was a huge percentage of the field, but it was also very well represented across the field, which was interesting by the statistics. Astartes as well. There was the Eldar experience. I did also expect Craft World to have a bigger presence, but it's always funny. Every time I go to LVO, it defies expectations. It never hasn't. It never has not, right? I was in the elevator. People were like, "Yo, dude, this is the biggest LVO ever." And I was like, "Only every year I come to LVO." It was like, "Really?" And I was like, "Yeah, man. Literally every year, it's the biggest LVO ever, and thus the biggest tournament in 40K history."
Yep.
Continuously since day one. And it always defies expectations, even in the weird moments like this where we're already in arcs, where we're playing Nephilim to conclude the season, get the final season statistic. Blood Angels. Interesting. Remember, because as Blood Angels started creeping up the meta watch, we all kind of knew they were better than the meta watch indicated, because of, you know, mid tiers like me, you know, keeping this win rate, keep pulling that, keeping it 500. So it would sneak up barely,
floating along.
So it was interesting to see them creep up, snag it up, and then again, no issues with AOC dropping. I think, like, I played all weekend with AOC against 3 other Marine armies and a Sisters army. You know, I just hate the mental math, the unnecessary mental math, and thus meaningless of the statistic associated with bullet damage. You know what I mean? Like, so AOC going away, one of the best things, good beta rule. And a lot of people agreed with me after they played, because I'm one of the only guys rocking the Centaurians, right? And I love them. I had to play them because it's the last AOC event. And every game, people were like, "Damn, those guys are so fucking hard to kill."
Yep.
And I'm like, "Yeah, but they're out of my list." Because AOC, they're like, "Oh, you sure though?" I was like, "Dog, they're not core. They don't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
They do one thing. The one thing is they come up at you with this Superman punch that you get kind of worried about, and you keep putting bullets into them, and I keep bringing guys back. That's it. Shit, I'm pretty sure I lost that game by 1 point because I revived a Centaurian one too many times.
Oh no!
For fucking no prisoners. So you see the problem here, but like that's it. Like, so I would like to see Centaurians, have AOC, a rule, an ability in their data sleep, because they are literally a firstborn Marine who's in an armor suit, strapped with an armor suit, with an armor suit on it, and he barely can remove his arms.
Playing another armor suit.
Like, that's kind of his only thing. He doesn't have any other ability to do things. So, like, I hope that we start seeing detail strokes of this concept of armor being the theme of a certain unit. Make it, now that we've had some market data. Because certainly everyone saw Centaurians got popular for a spike, and now they're going to be not popular again.
It's very sad.
So
They never
that-
really did anything.
I feel like we're actually back to a point where something could have a 1-up armor save as part of its data sheet, and it would be fine.
That's actually how you do it.
Yeah.
Quite.
Because I mean, like, you can't auto pass armor.
No, of course, yeah.
One still fails, so you have a 2-up armor.
That is the classiest modern era future version that goes all the way back to the beginning style, right? Centurions have a 1+ save state.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. You don't need a rule to onboard it with. So you don't have to do mental gymnastics in any capacity. It's just always a 1. You're in cover, it's a 0. And then they shoot you and it's like 2. I'm AP 2. Okay, I have a 2-up save. Like, it's just no, like, well, I'm a 2, but you're degraded by a 1 and I'm in cover, it's +1. No, fuck all that. Like, I love that. Yeah, they are the ultimate unit of you put armor on your armor, dog.
Yeah.
They just look so fresh.
Fucking love them. Them goofy assholes. Fucking love them. I've always been a fan of them. But I like that. That was a great takeaway for me. And people were actually a lot of people were shocked to see me using Inceptors because of all the recent controversy, which that happened since I left, right?
Yeah,
The points.
GW like pulled
Plasma
it
Gate.
out.
Plasma Gate. Nice.
Plasma Gate. This is why we can't have nice things, guys. GW goes out there and gives us a 100-point discount on Inceptors, and you all fuckers get 18 of them. Start posting on the internet how you're going to run 18 of them.
They're like, we don't like that.
They don't like that. Historically, they don't like that. Where have you been the whole time? So
Ready to jump on the newest exploitation.
they don't want 18 Inceptors being the meta. They thought they were doing
They don't
you.
even have 18 Inceptors to sell people.
Yeah, they don't even
They
have
want them.
18 Inceptors to sell people.
Let's be real.
Let's be fucking real.
Stop buying all our stock.
Yeah.
So yeah, you peasants, stop actually buying things.
Yeah. So, and a lot of people question me on it because I only heard that on the way, right? And I was running a 300 point squad of 5, right? Just so it's 1 point transhuman. And people were like, "Oh, you still like them at this point?" So I was like, "Oh yeah, I already had these. Yeah, like I've only known them. I was born in the 300 point darkness. You merely adopted it, son." Like they're like, "Yeah, but aren't they overpointed?" I was like, "You tell me." In a few turns, I was like, "Overpointed means it doesn't perform.
Right.
Not that it performs and it costs money. Like that's different." And so, like every game,
People spend money to get pointed stuff.
no matter the outcome of the game, I lost half of them, right? I lost 3 of them, won 3 of them, right? Like Arthur 100% was like, your plasma scepter tech. I have to give it to you, man. That won you the game. Like 2 things nobody's doing, right? I was running the Highlander list, 1 unit of Vanguard vets with Storm Shields and Lightning Claws. No one's running that. Only 1 unit of Sanguinary Guard. 1 unit of Death Company, and those plasma scepters is my whole death from above thing. And I'm combat squatting these Vanguard vets with Storm Shields. And he was like, and Matt Neezy was right by me, and he was like, "Why do you combat squat?" I was like, the whole dream is that I make an 8-inch deep strike charge on like a super character with like AP 5 attacks and just roll some 4 invulnerables, and they get stuck there for a turn. He's like, okay. And his Demon Prince comes over here, he takes this objective for me, gets some Long War points. He's getting ready to come to my backfield. I drop in this corner, get Relentless Assault. If I survive, make this 8-inch charge like I said I would. He rolls these like 7 Demon Prince attacks, like, all these rerolls. It's like 7 wounds. I've got 5 guys. I pick up fucking 7 dice, roll like 5 fucking 4s. And he's like, "Huh, they're not dead." I was like, "Yeah, Storm Shields, Doug." He's like, "You actually bought those, huh?" I was like, "They're on there, right?" And he's like, I see it now. I think too is like, okay. He's like, now he's in this combat for a turn he doesn't want to be in. Finishes him in his turn. Moves. Then I drop the fucking Inceptors in, who I dropped in earlier. Fucking Vaporizer Squad got 5 fucking points. Went back into the skies. Dropped back over here by the Demon Prince and was like, now he's dead. And that's a character kill. He's like, this fucking Inceptors won't leave my ass alone. What did I do? So like, yeah, the 300 points. They fuck. They have never not fucked. That's the thing. So they gave us a sick discount on them. And then y'all took advantage of it. And now I don't care. All my savings for my future list is gone now because of you guys. I just wanted 6 of them, guys. You had to go be madmen and buy 18.
Now GW's out of stock after the 4th person did it.
Taco Grinder, they've always been good. I don't care what fucking faction you play. They've always fucked.
Getting vocal in here.
And I got some breaking news. Hot breaking news.
Hot goss.
Yeah, Rob is tired and wants to go to bed.
The cat's losing her shit too. It's wild.
She says bedtime. Just telling you.
She might be on it. She might be on to something. We're broken old men.
Zed, well, that's fair.
Whole again.
I might be the kettle over here calling up the pot.
Attack bikes? Yeah.
I retract my statement and all my finger wagging. Do whatever you guys want to do. I'm sorry.
Land speeders, OG land. Like how many were just like destroying eBay, buying all the land speeders?
Definitely ruined eBay's ass for a while.
Yep.
All right, well, let's get Rob to bed because it's so hard for him, He's healthy, just slightly tired because he's been up all day ass. Definitely didn't almost die from COVID this week.
Healthy. I mean, I didn't have, the experience you did, but
I'm teasing.
My skin suit is a decoy for.
I probably need the red light cut off too, because like I will get too excited, I'll burn my voice out, and then I'll have a bad night.
You gotta make that cheddar on Friday. You stream it Friday, right?
I gotta stream tomorrow. Yeah, I gotta be strong for tomorrow.
Finish strong. All right. So we're gonna go Raid and Penny and Duff. So that's it. So that's it for this one, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for hanging out with us. The post LVO wrap up / Broken Old Men podcast. We should change. We should rebrand it.
Yeah, that's what's gonna happen soon.
For exclusive content, early access videos, and more, become a veteran of the Long War today.